right. Well, welcome everyone to Laughing at Work, Roasting Workplace Culture. It just seems appropriate that the world is heavy and we need to roast ourselves at this point in time and have fun and laugh. So thanks for being here. If we haven't met, my name's Jessie Jacob. I am a senior community manager here at Culture Amp. I run our Culture First Global Chapters program. So many of our chapter leads are here today from New York and Connecticut, San Diego, Detroit, Berlin, a lot of topic-based chapters. So we have 18,000 community members just in this chapters program alone. And then I see a lot of People Geek Slack folks here. Thanks for being here. If you're not in there, join us, keep the conversation going. And then I'm so excited to introduce my co-host, Sammy Anzer. I got to see Sammy perform a few months ago in Kansas City, and we got to meet after the show, became buds, and I was like, I have this idea for this like wacky thing that we could do together, and what do you think? And so here we are, making my workplace culture and stand-up comedy dreams come true. So Sammy, thank you for being here. I appreciate you.
Great to meet you all. Yeah, you could see based on that cool headshot. I changed my title a second ago, by the way, Jesse. Did you see it? I put my professional in
It's
quotes
air quotes here.
comedian. It is my full-time job, and this is being on a Zoom call is the most professional thing I feel like I've done. I'm not even wearing pants right now. I didn't have to tell you guys that, but I mean, I can't get fired, so here we go.
Amazing. Amazing, amazing. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you. Um, it wouldn't be a culture first gathering if we didn't have a very clear purpose for why we're gathering. So, Sammy, would you mind? Why are we here today?
Okay, I wrote this without any help from ChatGPT. I told Jesse this. We do have like a common love of like motivation and understanding things, and I really think that oftentimes creativity can be used to get people to bring their full identity, even like in workplaces and everything. So as it relates to like the little bit I've learned from Jesse, I would say that the future of work isn't going to be a solve all groundbreaking policy. It's about the human things that always draw us together, our care, our grit, and our humor. I think that if more people just sat across the table from each other and ate or danced or laughed, we'd have much less problems. So I think this whole thing, especially around norms around workplace, where it's like, what can you say? What can't you say? I think that we actually come together by laughing with each other and joking with each other, and oftentimes saying things that air our frustrations or are a little bit uncomfortable as long as they're funny. And the whole idea is to bring us closer together. So if you're with that and you like that idea, you're in the right place.
Yeah, yeah. It's an airing of grievances, if you will.
Yeah.
But in a respectful way. Um, just a little note about this session. This community is supported by Culture Amp, but this is specifically a community-led event rather than a Culture Amp event. So we recognize that inherently we could touch on some sensitive topics. We understand that this could make folks uncomfortable. And as we navigate this, we do aspire to create an inclusive environment where people can have hard conversations and discuss these bold topics. So open to your feedback if and how we can improve. So reach out to me either during the session or after, but all ears, always trying to create inclusive environments for our community.
In layman speak, that means no more than one slur per session.
Perfect, perfect. Yes. And just putting this in here around we Brene Brown has this quote is like, we told people we could create a safe space when in fact what we trying to do is create a brave space. And this idea that like we can't actually guarantee a safe space for people. It kind of drives me nuts that we use this term all the time. What we can do is like create an environment where people feel like they can come and share, but we have no idea how folks are going to interpret something, how they're going to react, how they're going to feel. And so, just a disclaimer, adding on to the disclaimer to this gathering. All right, we are going to have a little check-in. You're going to hear from 7 stand-up comedians who are going to perform, and then we'll have a chance to vote on your top 3, and then we'll have some closing remarks, and we'll get out of here. So with that, wanting to start our check-in here. If you have your phone, go ahead and scan this QR code and would love to hear why did you join today's session? Like, what are you hoping to get out of this? All of that good stuff. So again, if you are on your phone, you can scan this QR code, or you can just go to slido.com and type in this event code and drop in why did you join today's session?
Hey Jesse, I was on my phone not listening to you. What was I supposed to do again? No, I'm just kidding.
Right, exactly. For a good laugh. Support my team. Thank you. That might be someone on my team. I love you. Laugh so I don't cry. Yeah. You're welcome, whoever is feeling guilty for me forcing you to be here. Yeah, we need to vent. We need to air our grievances. Yes, more laughter, more fun for the world. Yeah, I could not agree. Laughter on HR topics is indeed rare. Anything you want to add, Sammy, on here? Get risque. Ooh.
Whoa, that's my favorite so far. I'm still navigating Zoom. I'm looking at this. Um,
It's Craig. It was me with the guilt. You're welcome. All right. Oh, good. All right. Moving us to our next prompt here. What topics are you hoping that today's performers cover? I mean, there are a lot of things as it relates to workplace culture, the world of work. What are you hoping they end up covering? Founders.
Oh, yeah, I have a question. Who HRs HR? Who HRs HR?
You could say that, this community is the HR for HR in some ways.
Yeah. All right. Let's see if you guys all report each other. That'd be fun.
Culture, Elon Musk, D and I. What's the deal with QR codes? Okay.
Yeah.
Virtual work, dress code, return to office drama. Ugh. What's BO? BO. Oh, body odor. Maybe? I don't know. Is that what that means?
That's one of my favorites.
Privilege. Yes. Team bonding.
The need for more men in HR. Finally, some representation for men.
Greensy.
Um,
I don't know what Greensy is. Is that like a spin-off of Gen Z? I don't know what's going on.
Ooh, someone got profound. Are we human and human
Yeah,
resources? Like
dang.
the title of an Amazon book.
What the downfall of democracy? Huh? Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I don't think our performers are gonna touch that, but that sounds fun.
All right. This is awesome. Thank you all for checking in. What's up with Craig and HR? Amazing.
I
All
think
right.
someone said dress code because of the thing I mentioned about my
Your
pants.
pants. That would make sense. Yeah. Well, if this is your first Culture First gathering, you're like, what is it you say you do here? Who are these people? We are a group of people around the world united in the shared belief that we're here to make a world, make the world of work better. And basically, what I like to say is that we are willing to do something about it. We're willing to come together and to create a better world of work. And that starts with us being the change we want to see in the world. So we have 5 core principles that we're asking you to embody today. The first one's around fostering belonging and acceptance, that we are all about creating environments where people feel like they can feel seen, heard, valued, and appreciated for just being them and showing up. The second one's around having the willingness to reflect and grow. If we're trying to create a better world of work, and then that goes to our organizations doing the work, but ultimately that starts with us turning the mirror around, saying, what can I do? How can I contribute? How can I be the change I want to see in the world?
Michael Jackson said that, right?
Cue the song. Yes. Have the courage to be vulnerable is this idea of we're constantly wearing masks and there's different layers to us. So, how do we show up to work and be more of ourselves and gives other people permission to be more of themselves to create more trust and psychological safety on this shared mission to create a better world of work? The fourth core principle is putting our learning into action. We hope that at our gatherings, you're not just consuming information in one ear and out the other, but you're feeling inspired to implement things you learned or the things you think about into your life or to the way that you work. And then this last core principle is something that makes our community really unique, which is connection inside, business outside, which is a fancy way of saying that in the container of this gathering, we want you to connect first as human beings. And if that leads to you all collaborating and doing business later, that's cool. But like hardcore networking and getting people to sign up for demos and all that stuff is not the purpose of this gathering. We're here for genuine connection with one another. So
Follow me on Instagram at badboyandler.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yes. So if you can agree to embody these principles, give me a thumbs up reaction, give me a thumbs up in the emoji. Great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Some final housekeeping before we get into you hear from these 7 comedians. So this session is being recorded. It will be shared on Cultramp's YouTube channel afterwards. So just be mindful of things that you're sharing aloud or in the chat. This slide needs to be edited because you're about to hear from 7 performers. Sammy, will you explain this one? Please mute, but bring on the reactions. Like,
Yeah. So basically, mute yourself just because like a dog bark could cut out the speaker's audio or something like that. But the people do want to see your faces while they're performing. They do want to see your reactions. And they don't want you to come in and like say something over their joke. So just make sure you're on mute, make sure you're being supportive. If you've ever been the new kid at school or a new person at a new workplace, you know how hard it is to try and do something new. So we want to give these people 100% of our support.
yes. And following on to that, we are trying to create an environment where these are not professional comedians. I mean, maybe in a couple cases there are, but we no comedic bombing here. We want everyone who performs to give them some love with the reactions, or send them a DM or things like that. Give them some love. And then at the end, you'll be asked to vote on your top 3 performances from today. So pausing there, any questions, comments, concerns? Everyone feel like they can agree to this? All right, great. All right, let's get on with the show. Sammy, who is our first comedian?
It is, I believe it's Hannah, but people have the numbers by their names. Is that right?
Yeah. Yep. All right, spotlighting you, Hannah.
Thank you.
Okay, before we get started, Hannah, what's your name, Hannah?
My name is Hannah.
Great to meet you.
Thank you. Good to meet you too.
What are you going to be talking to us about today?
Just, like email.
It's my favorite. I love emails. Let's hear it.
Okay, thanks. All right. Hello, my name is Hannah Piaz-Santilli, and I'm a senior account executive at Cultramp. My pronouns are she, her, and my preferred mode of communication is anything but email. Please don't send me another email. They have never once found me well. Honestly, they are making me unwell, and the sign-offs. Save your regards for somebody else. Disregard me, discard me, maybe be gentle and put me in the keep folder before you throw me in the trash. I am drowning in emails. When I was a kid, adults always told me I would grow up to be a lawyer. They didn't know about all the emails I'd receive. Who has time for law school? They also couldn't have predicted that I'd end up in tech. I do, though, find comfort in the fact that all of my certifications are technically in SaaS. Do you know what the worst part is? I skipped over it, but I am an account executive. That is a sneaky tech title for sales. All I do is send emails, and even worse, I beg for a reply. My livelihood depends on it. Speaking of, if any of you have like a quick 5 to talk ROI, check the chat. I'm gonna drop my email.
Yeah.
Great, Hannah. Are you actually going to drop your email?
Dropped it.
You don't,
Let's talk engagement, performance, and development, baby. Just kidding. Business on the
I'm going to
outside.
drop my comedy email over here in the chat in case anyone wants to book me for something in the future as well. You could see it there. I also love emails. What's your inbox count at, Hannah?
Do you know what's so funny? I'm an inbox 0 person.
Whoa, holy shit. Can I say shit on here, Jesse? Am I gonna get in trouble?
Sure, it's fine, whatever.
Wow, that's so good. I believe the bit now. That's how you do it. That's how.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna test it. I almost feel like I want to send you an email and see what happens.
I'm nervous.
She's
Don't
ready
you
to
all
go.
send
Did
it
you see
once?
her hand when she's a finger on the mouse pad? Well, thank you so much, Hannah. Everyone give her a
Thank you.
little.
Little love for Hannah. Love
Gary,
it.
Gary, can Gary at least chime in with some cheers?
Pretty- Thank
I
you,
got
Gary. Yep. All right. Comedian number 2. I don't remember who it was. Oh, Paul.
Paul, yeah.
There you
I'll
go.
wave so you could spotlight me and
Thank you,
define
Who's
me.
thank
running
you.
the show, Jesse?
I appreciate you.
Mhm.
Hey, Paul, how you doing? You got a good looking bookshelf over there. Are those
Oh,
old
thank you,
business books?
Sammy. Appreciate it.
Are they all business books? Or are they other stuff too?
God, no, no. Mostly fiction. I don't really read a lot of business books. There might be like a couple of them, but no.
Couple like
Ugh.
sexy space books you got going over there, like some epic fantasies type thing.
I do have some of the Dune books there. I do have
See,
Lord of the Rings.
I looked at the fatness. I was gonna say girth, and I know that's wrong, but the fatness of the book, and it seemed like a large fantasy book. And now I've said something that's yeah, it's risque according to
Oh,
Sarah.
shorts.
This is actually a history book. So,
Oh,
but
even
it's
more
like
risque.
1,200 pages.
It's good
So.
that you have that while you still can have that. Anyway,
Yeah.
Paul, tell us what you're gonna talk about.
Everyone's
way,
favorite
he's Canadian,
mandatory
so he
team
can have
building
everything.
activities.
Say that again.
Mandatory team building activities. Everyone's favorite.
Take us away, Paul.
All right, we're good to go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to your not really mandatory, but in all actuality, mandatory forced fun team building event. We put this event together with no consideration if you would enjoy it, but fear not. Those who organized it will, which means you will enjoy it, or else. Now, what's that I hear? You rather sit this one out? You'd rather be anywhere else in the world right now than this team building event? Don't sweat it. You could sweat later when this comes up during your performance review. Now have fun, be a team player now, and build that synergy. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Paul. We love the synergy.
Paul.
And also, you'll never work this club again. No, I'm just kidding. How'd you come up with this? What gave you the idea?
I always love poking fun at anything related around the topic of forced fun, mandatory fun. It's the worst.
Is this somehow, I mean, I'm not this side of it, but is this somehow tied to your performance review of some kind? Getting close?
No, I've been fortunate where this has not been used against me, but no, I've known friends who have had issues of where they weren't seen as team players because they didn't like certain activities. I found an interesting article where someone in France was able to sue a company successfully because he got let go because he wasn't seen as fun enough, and he was able to.
It's not me. I have
that
friends
company as
that
a
have
result.
experienced this.
That guy sounds like a good time. I like him. Suing to counter fun. We'll keep an eye out for him. Maybe Paul will drop us the article link in the chat so we can
Yeah,
all
I could do that. I'll have to pull it up here.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Paul.
Thanks for having me, Sammy. Thanks for having me, everyone.
Woohoo! A little more love for Paul. Thank you, thank you. So awesome.
Oh, looks like AC knew about him that he didn't go to happy hour. I love that.
You didn't go to happy hour and got
He just
fired.
went to drink wine at home alone, which is
Wild.
so much worse, right? Maybe he had a nice big book with him.
Nailed it, Gary. Nailed it. All right, over to Teresa. All right, let me spotlight you, Queen.
Make my own.
Hey,
Pick
Teresa,
my own audio.
I really like your glasses choice.
I took a poll before the session to get the feedback. So if they look
Yeah.
like hell, that's everybody else's fault.
She went with the glasses that we talked about. What does that say in the back over there? And
Oh, that's my company, People Power AI.
what does it mean? What does it do?
What we do is I educate HR leaders, my favorite people in the world, on how to leverage and use AI for their teams and for their business.
Is there a way that maybe the AI could control HR, or are we not there yet?
We're never going to be there,
Hmm.
but they can do a lot. It can do a lot to help us, and that's the point.
Okay. All right. Well, what are you talking to us today about, Teresa?
I'm going to talk to you about some real life experience I had as a HR leader and practitioner for over 25 years.
Oh my God, that's wonderful. Take us away.
Cool. So, one of the things I loved about working and still love about working in HR is the stories. And the reality is that most of the time in HR, we have to keep those stories a secret. But today I'm here to tell some tales out of school. Like the time that I was interviewing a candidate and he casually pulled out his pocket knife and started using it like a fidget spinner. Like in the middle of our interview, flipping me around like we're in the middle of West Side Story. I'm like, tell me, could you please put away the weapon and tell me how you manage conflict? Or the time that I had to check in on an FMLA leave. This was like a year in, and her paperwork clearly said she was physically unable to do her job, like essentially bedridden. Well, it turns out that she was actually unable to do her job because she was living her dream of playing for the LA Temptations. And if you know, that is the former LA lingerie football team. Yes, she was out there full contact footballing in a bikini. And how did we find out about this? It wasn't through an investigation or her doctors. It was from Facebook. She was out there like, game day, let's go, posting photos and team practice and the schedule. And to be honest with you, by the time I found all this out, I was actually not even mad. I was just more impressed and like the audacity of it, because it was actually the first time I ever had to ask about an FMLA claim. Like, was this a medical leave covered by the halftime show? Ah!
Wow, Teresa, thank you. That's so cool that you've had that experience with the women's lingerie football league. I've always thought whenever I watch that I would do really well in that arena.
You might. I didn't have the experience. She did, and she was really excited about it.
Do you know about any applications opening within the league?
The league is actually shut down and has been since 2019.
So just kind of like street lingerie football is what's happening.
Yes, it's no longer organized sports. It's just what you have to do on your own.
Well, let's connect on LinkedIn and maybe they have a referee position available for me sometimes.
I'd love to help you out with that.
Is that knife story true? Is that true?
It is true. Yeah, both of those stories are true. Yeah.
It was nice of you to change my name to Tommy in that story. I
Oh, sorry.
Thank you so much, Teresa.
Thank you for the laughs. I appreciate it.
Okay.
I'm full on mute. My bad. All right. Over to
He has
Gary.
a friend who is a quarterback in the LFL.
Yeah, casual. That's wild.
Flex.
All right. Over to you, Gary.
Heyo.
Hey, Gary, how you doing?
Good, thank you.
What's the story about Believe in the background over there?
Well, if you know, you know. It's a Ted Lasso reference, so there we go.
Oh, yeah. I saw it season 1 and 2, and then I decided once season 3 started, I feel like it fell off, so I stopped.
Oh,
Did I miss out?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did, totally.
Okay, well, I would tell you that I might watch it, but I probably won't.
That's all right.
Unless everyone in the chat is like, oh yeah, we overwhelmingly agree with Gary and Ted Lasso season 3 is the best. Okay, it's coming in. We'll see it. Gary, what are you talking to us today about?
I'm just going to be sharing an old story. Maybe you can relate to it. It has to do with burnout and company policies and stuff like that.
I love burnout. I love stress. Let's hear about it.
Yeah, why not? All right, jumping into it. So I used to work at a digital marketing startup where work hard, play hard wasn't just a motto. It was practically a mandated lifestyle. But get this, imagine an office full of beanbags, an untouched ping pong table, and walls plastered with motivational quotes. Spoiler alert, those toys were never touched. See, the real game here was who can sound like the smartest person in the room. We had buzzwords flowing like coffee with phrases like maximize optimal performance. We were knee deep in search marketing, yet no one was searching for how to avoid imploding under pressure. Speaking of pressure, this is where I unlocked a new skill, burnout. And I experienced my first panic attack. And so I told my boss about it, expecting some sympathy. But his face only showed concern because he was concerned about the deadline. He was like, "Are you going to miss it?" Because of #priorities. And with that, I discovered the startup's real mantra was get it done or die trying. Because who needs rest when your boss believes sleep is a mythological thing like unicorns or job satisfaction?
Ooh, taking some heavy shots at it there. So does this story have a happy ending? You're smiling. Is there something you learned about burnout now? I assume you're not with them anymore, yeah?
No, I'm not. Yes.
Okay, so
But
how are you?
I'm good now. But yeah, burnout's still a real thing.
So what
If
do you
anyone
do
has
to-
any tips, please let me know.
well, we want to know your tips. What have you been doing to deal with it to make sure you're not burning out?
Well, I used to say sleep, but I have 2 kids now, a 2-year-old and a 7-year-old. So sleep is still a little bit non-existent. But for me,
Burn you out.
laughing. That's my thing.
Mm, I like that. I like that. And I'm also interested in this this kind of culture of trying to sound like the smartest person in the company. That's what I got these
Yes.
glasses for, to appear smarter. So maybe I'd fit in there or the lingerie football league. I haven't decided yet.
Right? Yeah, I would love to see you in a 2-piece lingerie. Yes. With the glasses.
Yeah, smart,
Right?
smart. Everyone, give a little round of applause for Gary.
Yes. Good stuff, Gary. All right. Sammy,
All right,
I'm next then.
you're next.
I'm next.
Oh my God, I should have put you first, Jesse.
No, it was a smart decision to go with Hannah first.
This was so Jesse came up with this idea when we were talking after my show, and then the idea was to like use stand-up comedy to like help people be more expressive and have like a creative outlet and like go out of their comfort zone. And it became really clear really quick that Jessie was going to have to do it too if she was coming up with the idea. So I'm really excited and super proud of her, and I think it's really cool.
Thank you. What a weird challenge this is, but here we go. All right. So, working in HR has slowly turned into a gateway drug to becoming a spiritual healer. Like 1 minute they're running a personality assessment with a new hire, and then the next minute they're running like a past life regression. They're like, "Listen, Bobby, it turns out in your last incarnation, you were actually a rug, which is why you're used to getting walked all over and can't negotiate your salary." What used to be check your emotions at the door has somehow turned into let's sit in a circle and unpack our generational trauma. Like, we cannot seem to have a productive meeting until Brittany fully heals her daddy issues. Teams are painting on tables, they're having dance parties. So basically, the whole bring your child to work day thing has now turned into bring your inner child to work day. Teams are even meditating before they start meetings. Like, I swear, we are one team building exercise away from doing ayahuasca trips with Brad in finance. So, we all know HR stands for human resources, but it could very well now stand for horoscopes and Reiki. Or maybe we should just change it to hugs required because let's be honest, folks in HR could use some more hugs.
Just hey. Maybe that should be our poll, if HR should be hugs required or what
Or
was
or horoscopes and Reiki.
Oh, both sound good. Is there a Brad in finance on this call, and does he have ayahuasca on?
Yeah. No, he doesn't. But we did talk about how ketamine is the first FDA approved psychedelic, and companies are offering it as an employee sponsored benefit now. So,
Only cool companies.
like Dr. Bronner soaps.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know they were a company. I thought that was just the crazy guy that did soap.
I don't know. I thought it was like an actual company. I'm
They're
pretty
in
sure
San
they
Diego.
They're in San Diego. Yeah, they could be one of those companies that's pretending they're not a company, but secretly a company.
Yeah, right.
Dirty culture.
Isn't that called money laundering?
My favorite
Now,
activity.
if you wash it,
Yeah, true.
Wow, a lot of props in the chat, Jesse.
Oh,
And
to be
people are
fair,
agreeing.
what?
Yeah, go ahead, be fair.
To be
That's
fair,
okay.
I believe in all of those things, but it's just absurd, right? Like,
Well, I think we should go back to the good old days when HR didn't exist and it was just like Gary was talking about. So get back to work.
oh. Yeah.
Well, thanks for
HR
bringing
for
up some
25
levity
years,
to
sorry.
the
I'm literally picturing that scene from Wolf of Wall Street when they're just like in the office. It's just
I
like,
haven't seen it. No spoilers, please.
oh, no spoilers, no whammies, no spoilers. Yeah, all good.
I'm still waiting. It's been 10 years, but I'm gonna watch it pretty soon. Give it a round of applause for. I think
Thanks,
we have
Squad.
2 more performers left. Is that right?
Yeah. All right, who's number 6 on our list here?
It's
Who was
Kathy.
it? Oh, Kathy, there you go. Thank you. Find her. It's Kathy Clotes with a long O.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kathy. Did you tactically match your sweater to the book behind you?
You know what? I did.
Yeah, to the flowers. Look at the color
Oh,
accent.
no, look at that. We fancy. We
And what
fancy.
does your message in the back mean? Yes, and you?
Yes and is an improv saying yes and. So we forget to yes and ourselves. So this is about yes anding you while we're yes anding other people. We have to yes and ourselves.
I think I saw Jim Carrey do a movie about that called Yes Man, right?
Yes, man. Yeah.
What are you talking to us today about, Kathy?
We gonna talk about, oh my gosh, tech culture, all that stuff.
Okay.
Lots of tech culture stuff. So yeah. All right. Okay, you guys. I was in tech for 2 decades, very male-dominated space, and all the groups got names. The IT guys, they were the it bros. The accountants were the dough bros. They came up with a name for the women in my division. Kathy and Brenda. Now, I have a lot of jokes about being a woman in tech, but they've all been explained back to me. Yeah. Tech thinks it's disruptive culture. Oh, and it is, mostly while talking over women. And HR, I love you guys because you're so positive. You're like, oh my God, we're a family here. Yeah, my family got thrown out of therapy and they owe me money. I think we have too much tech and it is getting in the way of work-life balance and it's listening. And I said that and my husband laughed. Then Alexa came on and laughed. Then Siri came on and laughed. Then ChatGTP was like, ha, 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 Kathy, good one. What's the difference, everybody, between AI and tech culture? You guys, AI actually learns. That's my time, everybody.
Thank you, Kathy. Great jokes. Do you want me to explain them to you?
Would you? Because I think they're funnier when they're explained back to women.
Yeah, men have this amazing ability to do that. So what's your work history is what exactly in tech?
Yeah, so I led products. I actually a lot of the search engine technology that you all use, I worked in teams that actually developed some of that. And then I worked in communications for large tech companies and startups. Then I left to start my own business and really take leadership and my background in improv and comedy and marry those two together. Just marry, yes.
Whoa,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's an AI that could do that too. That'd be really cool.
I know, I've seen it. I like my AI dumb. I like it unfunny.
Well, actually, if you ask Siri, she'll tell you a joke or something. It's
I
something.
know. Yes, actually. Thank you for that demo. Yes, it will tell you a joke, and the jokes are funny and not quite there, and I like that. I like that. I like that. It's getting better. Not quite there, but I like that.
You made me realize that I don't know I use Chat GPT almost every day, and I don't know what the GPT and it means. Like, It could mean I'm telling it all types of personal information, and I don't even know its last name's meaning.
I don't know. And I just know that's very popular. I think ChatGTP is probably more popular than boyfriends because like you can tell it stuff. Women can, get a lot of sympathy back and empathy. Yeah. Yeah. It's emotionally cheating on you guys. Your girlfriend is cheating with ChatGTP. I'm just saying. Because it listens. That's what I'm saying.
Well, thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
Yes. Final love for Kathy. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I'm handing it over to you, Peter.
Ooh. Hi, everybody. Yeah, I'm Peter Siren. I'm an account executive at Culture Amp. We
Hey,
started
what
it that way, we're ending it this way.
what's an account executive?
Oh, what was that?
What's an account executive, Peter?
Sammy doesn't listen to women.
Yeah, I think somebody explained it earlier, but I wasn't paying attention, so like I'm sorry, are we not allowed to make those jokes? Or is it just for Sammy or
No, yeah, actually you're canceled. And
dang.
so we're gonna end this session early. No, I'm just kidding, Peter. Wait, does everyone know exactly what an account executive is except me? Is it selling stuff?
Yeah, it's a very over-glorified title. It's very bloated for a salesperson.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, my title is comedian, but really I'm also like a traveling night clown, if you think about it. So I understand
I like
the
that.
inflated title. What are you talking to us today about?
Something the best people in the whole entire world. It's the HR persona.
Take us away.
So today's interesting to me because I'm actually usually when I see a calendar block where I'm attending and there's an HR person in it, you kind of get a little bit of the heebie-jeebies, but I'm walking in with 82 of you staring at me, so I'm wondering how this call is actually going to go. If you catch my drift. So yeah, I sell to HR people. We just covered that, and at Culture Amp I'm really thinking about changing my title from account executive to emotional support human for HR, because something I'm realizing is like we are trained to uncover pain in our job, right? Like we want to figure out the emotion, tie it to our product, but I also have to be like, whoa, Linda, slow down, not that pain. No, we do not expose that pain in this call. And I think it's an IT issue because every time I'm showing up to my calendar blocks, I'm expecting a demo, but I think on my client sides, they're seeing a therapy block or something like that. It's very weird. I end up asking questions like, so what keeps you up at night, Linda? And she's saying like, huh, if I can get any sleep in HR. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, what about if I wave a magic wand? What's one thing I could fix in your life? Huh, have you seen my C-suite? I wish we could change that. Linda, no, they're in the call with you. Come on, no, stop. And I think that's my minute.
Thank you, Peter. You're
Yeah.
getting a lot of praise from emotional. That's what people want. People want an emotional support human. I think people don't know that those are called friends. So
Yeah,
try those.
yeah.
What do you think?
Love to know where to find some. Those are like awesome.
A hotline? Maybe you'd open one?
Oh, I heard those were paid though. Last I
Yeah,
checked.
I mean, here's another way to make money on the side if you
That's
want.
true. That's true.
Take 10%.
I could drop my cell phone link somewhere here. Is that how it works?
Yeah. I think a lot of account executives are connecting with your experience too.
Oh, I haven't even checked the chat out. That's true. Man, do we have a lot of people in sales here?
You can get on a call and sell stuff to each other after this.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do a self-promoting plug if anyone wants to connect on LinkedIn. There you go. That's where you make a friend, by the way, I have been told. So just follow
And
that link.
that violates our norms, so you
I
are
can't.
out of here.
Well, wait, Sammy, you canceled me, and this is a double cancel, so they cancel each other out.
Oh, it's like a Uno reverse skip. You're right. You're right.
We're good.
Actually, good. He's clean. All right,
Oh.
Justin.
I love it. All right, can we give everyone a little last round of applause to everyone? Let me share it. Yes. So Yeah, let's give a little bit of love to everyone. I know we've been doing this, but slide into their DMs, connect with them on LinkedIn, follow them on IG, especially at Bad Boy Answer.
Who put that in there? Who put that in there? That's crazy.
Who put Bad Boy Answer in the teleprompter? Just kidding. Yes, thank you so much for just keep the love going, because obviously this is something that's totally not part of our day to day and a different way of using our brains. But I don't know. I've got a little bit of time. I'd love to hear from like a couple of the folks, the comedians, to just like share their experience of how this was for you. What did you learn about yourself?
Let's talk about that. If you have a number before your name and you performed and this was something different for you, kind of like what led you to want to do something this weird and vulnerable and out of your norm? How did you feel once you did it, and like while doing it, and how do you feel once it was done?
I thought it was awesome. I'll share. I was like, wanted to do it to support Jessie, first of all. Like, I know she puts a lot of these fun things together, and so it's nice to have people raise their hand to help out. I am a huge fan of going to see comedy shows, and so to put my hand up to say like, hey, I'll try to put something funny together was it was fun, but it was also a little stressful. I'll be honest, especially for those of you that know me, that know my company teaches AI. I tried to use AI first, and my husband said it wasn't at all funny. So I had to go back to my resources and come up with my own real stories that actually happened. The knife did happen. The lingerie football, she really did play. So I thought that was a good learning lesson. And then now that it's over, it makes me want to like, I thought it's pretty fun. I wish my timing was better, but that just takes practice. So I'm like, I'm going to go take a class in freaking comedy. I loved it.
Love to hear it.
But can I answer this too? The answer is straight out the gate, peer pressure from Jesse Jacob. Like Slack message, like you are attending, and I'm like, oh, I guess I'm doing this now. But seriously, second reason was just self-improvement. I've never done something like this. I just want to try it. So boom, there we go.
I just literally added you and Hannah to the calendar invite. I was like, you don't even need to register. Here, just show up.
I mentioned before the call started that I actually did take a stand-up comedy class here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I took it last summer. So I do have a little bit of experience. I did the class, and I've done like a handful of open mic nights. But it was very different, where my topics there were about serial mascots as drug dealers. I was like, well, let's poke fun at HR. And I always love to poke fun around that world of mandatory, team building, team bonding exercises, that kind of world. It's always something, with my work, I do a lot around that. But a lot of it is poking fun at how terrible elements of, the forced fun is in the corporate world.
Yeah, and for me, it was just a different skill. I come from the world of improv where you're making it up on the spot, so it was nice to like actually sit down and write some stuff and refine that. So and of course, after 3 texts from Jesse, I felt like I had to. So.
I'm noticing a common name here.
I love
There's
you.
also the challenge element of doing this over Zoom as opposed to like an audience, where you can't really hear the audience laugh, in the sense that's like, well, you might get some mic feedback or anything, but it was great to do. So thanks for having us.
Yeah. It's funny. I originally felt a little weird. Kevin said you're a ringer. I am. I do have a comedy background and an improv background. I'm not new to it, but what I thought would be fun was I messaged Jesse, and I thought, I talked to Gary. Gary's a friend. He's like, just do it. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. But I'll tell you what's fun for me. I've been doing it a long time, but it's full circle for me, because as a woman who came out of tech in 2 decades, when I was younger, I was told not to be funny. I was told to not be so funny, to not use my humor. Humor is my superpower. So what you see in me is the arc of my development of owning that. And so what's joyful for me is to be able to be a woman and go, nah, I'm funny. I'm going to own it, and I'm doing it. Because when I was in tech as a young woman, I was expressly told not to do it or nobody would take me seriously. So this is fun for me. This is joy. This is me coming home to me. So it means something to me. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Hannah, you want to give us our last kind of little bit of your reflection?
Who were you sending it to, Sammy?
Hannah.
Oh, yes, I thought.
Oh, Kathy's a hard one to follow. That was beautiful. Similarly, well, I did stand up in college, and I used to get paid in drinks, and that was really fun. And I took some comedy classes, and it was great. But doing this sober and doing this like as an adult in front of my peers, was definitely a challenge, but really cool and exciting and fun. So thank you.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Jesse, you want to take us home? People are already asking for episode 2. Whoa.
So good. All right, I'm dropping in the chat. We want to hear from you. You each get 3 votes on this easy retro board. They are anonymous. So go and choose your top 3 performers of the day. And oh my gosh, 6 a.m. in Australia. Hi, Jen. 6 a.m. comedy it hits different for sure. For sure. Yeah, so click on this link that I just dropped in the chat to the Easy Retro board. You should have 3 votes and would love for you to get in there and take a few moments to like for who your favorite performers of the day were. And yeah, there is a recording, obviously, from today. It will get shared out if you, for the folks that registered, and it will be on Coltramp's YouTube channel as well, if you would like to rewatch it or share it with someone. And also, I'm working with the social media team at Coltramp to maybe see if we can turn some of these into fun Instagram reels. So stay tuned for maybe some of that, and you can reshare that way. Oh no, how did Kathy and Paul get added together? All right, looking at this easy retro board. Kathy and Paul got combined. I'm not sure how this is happening. This is absolute pandemonium. But it's fine. Like, we're just rolling with it.
I think the retro board's got some retro issues.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, it's all good.
Sure. So
Can
good.
we all, aren't we at like the stage where everybody's a winner?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
isn't that the thing? Doesn't everybody get a trophy? I thought that's what I was signing up for, especially since my numbers are low.
I love it. Anyone want? Oh yeah, go ahead, Semi.
Let's see, while people are voting, do we have any upcoming events?
Oh my gosh, yeah, we do. Thanks for asking. So, other ways to stay connected. If you're not in our People Geek Slack community, would highly recommend you keep the convo going in there with ideas and jobs and other events happening. You can subscribe to the Cultureverse podcast and the Cultramp newsletter. We also have some upcoming community events. You can scan this QR code and it'll take you to chapters.culturefirst.com. But AC Holmes, who's here with us, a community manager at Cultramp, she's hosting the Science of Playful Culture on February 25th. Teresa, who performed today, is collaborating with Gary in the San Diego chapter, and they're hosting AI in Action, exploring Gen AI tools and prompting for HR excellence on February 21st. Both of those are
Friday.
Yeah, on Friday. Thank you. And then if I know a couple folks are in Australia or in the APAC region right now, so you can join the Melbourne chapter. This is in person though. They're talking about Culturamp's HR predictions for 2025, but you're welcome to join that. There's all sorts of upcoming events, in person or virtual, happening. So go and check those out by scanning this QR code. And I think that's a wrap, folks. Anything else we want to cover and discuss?
Last thing is just like to take it all away. Just a reminder to celebrate these people who took a creative risk, that it's hard. And then also, like you mentioned at the beginning, we do these to inspire people. So your creative risks don't have to be public facing like this. You could knit something, you could pick up the guitar you always wanted, but anytime you're doing some type of creating, getting reflective, it's a chance for you to connect with yourself. And I would say it's not something that you don't have time for, it's something that you got to make time for. So if you take one thing from this session, it's do that thing.
Yes.
Love that.
Love, love, love.
Amen. Amen. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna do this thing called a chat bomb checkout. So if you could sum up one word to describe how you're doing, how you're feeling, I want you to drop it in the chat, but don't press enter yet. So one word to describe how you're doing, how you're feeling, type it in the chat, and then give me a thumbs up once you have it in the chat. All right. All right, on the count of 3, we're all gonna press enter. 1, 2, 3, enter. Ashley, you're good. We got a lot of greats. We're swell. Awesome. Yes. All right, well, thank you all for being here. Cheers to taking creative risks. Sammy, anything else you want to share? No.
No, that's it. Come check me out. I talk about stuff that's not HR in my stand-up comedy. You could check me out online. I live in Colorado. I'm in New York right now. I'll be in Atlanta in 2 weeks. Check me out.
Love it. Thank you for collaborating with me, Sammy. Appreciate you. Grateful to call you a friend. This was such a treat. All right, we're gonna do a clap out. So steal all of these things for your virtual gatherings to just level them up. So what's about to happen is we're all gonna come off mute. We're going to essentially
Finally. That was hard, Jesse.
we're gonna count to 3. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, and then we're all gonna clap, and then the Zoom meeting is just gonna shut off. Okay, does everyone understand what's happening? Kind of a thumbs up. Great. Sammy, will you count us to 3? Okay, so before he does that, thank you all for being here. Cheers to taking creative risks, and cheers to co-creating a better world of work. Over to you.
1, 2, 3.